Hey guys, it's GoldenSteelTV here. I'm back with another Minecraft video. This time, we're gonna build a cottage for the fictional royal family that rules the world I have here in Minecraft. Um, there's a lot of things I want to talk about, so I will get to them in just a sec. But first, let me talk about why I'm building the cottage for the royal family. The cottage I'm building. The purpose for it is for the royal family to get away from the main castle where they live at. That's down south of where I'm at right now. Um, Sometimes high profile people like the royal family have to get away from you know the cities where their palaces are located and want to go somewhere that's secluded and remote from the main centers of the population. As such, they'll try to spend some of their days quietly and peacefully without being disturbed and bothered by anyone. As such, real-life royal families will have smaller cottages, smaller castles, whichever country they rule, and that's just to get away from the main population, and also to spend whatever season's going on, whether it's the fall or winter or summer or spring. So yeah, I'm thinking about which materials to use to build the cottage. It's not gonna be as grand and big as the castle, but it should be but it should be comfortable to the royal family that wants to get away from the main castle and spend some of their days quietly and peacefully. Okay, so that's the main purpose of this project that I'm undertaking right now. As you can see in this video, I'm only gonna show you part of the construction. I will finish it off screen or in another video if there is time available. So what you're about to see is just part of the construction. Okay. In sports, we're going to talk about the NFL first before moving on to the NBA finals, which I haven't had the time to talk about since I've been dealing with a lot of stuff in real life and haven't had the time to do a video around the time after the NBA finals. But first, I want to start off with the NFL. NFL fans, including Commanders fans, rejoice. Dan Snyder finally sold the Washington Commanders to a partnership of Josh Harris, the owner of the Philadelphia 76ers, and an NBA legend whose name is none other than Magic Johnson. Having been owner since 1999, Dan Snyder's ownership has been riddled with nothing but controversy, constant mediocrity, and very little playoff success. On top of that, recently his team has been under investigation for the toxic workplace culture and environment that his ownership fostered. And rather than face the harsher punishment that would have been imposed on him, he decided to voluntarily sell the team to the partnership of Josh Harris and Magic Johnson. In addition, he also has to pay the fine of $60 million. And I'm not sure if it's the maximum amount allowed for a fine to be paid in the NFL as part of the rules, but yeah. What matters now is that dude is gone and he can't hurt the Commanders fans anymore. The new ownership of Harris and Magic will have a lot of fixing to do for the Commanders. It's gonna be a while before the Commanders finally become relevant and great again. Along with having to fix the team and repair its reputation, there have been calls from fans to change the name back to the Redskins. But unfortunately, due to the due to due to the due to the woke climate that caused the name to be changed in the first place, it probably won't happen. Instead, a new name may instead the less politic the less controversial name may have to be chosen, which is what the new Commander's ownership has thought of, as has reported. Um, personally, I would love to see them being called the Red Wolves, just because it sounds cooler, and there are people who like wolves. So, yeah, I would like that name. If the Commanders decide to change their name once again. The reason for that is because a lot of fans don't like the name Commanders, and they rather have a different name they like. It's not ever. I know that name is not everyone's cup of tea, but we'll just have to see what happens from here. How will I remember Dan Snyder as Commander's owner? I won't have anything. There's nothing good about him that I will cherish. The only memories of Dan Snyder I will ever cherish is making fun of him relentlessly and joining on the hate bandwagon train. So yeah, one can only hope that the Commanders will be back to relevance and finally have their reputation repaired. It's gonna take some time, but let's hope the future for the Commanders is brighter. All right, training camp has started for the NFL. There's a new situation involving running backs not getting paid the amount they want, with some threatening to hold out or have already gone through that in order to get the teams to pay them the amount they want. The problem with running backs holding out, though, is that doesn't always work out in the end. Once they get the big contract, once they get the big money they want, they fall off due to injuries or they just end up losing their passion for the game and not care at all about improving. So that's a catch-22 for running backs, because their teams don't want to risk paying too much money. And also because the NFL as a whole has become a pass happy league. You see guys like Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill and many other star receivers getting paid lots of money, and there are younger receivers who haven't gotten paid too much money yet, but in the direction the NFL is going, being a pass happy league now, running backs, the NFL teams believe that running backs are expendable, and just like everybody, just like everybody, and everybody's expendable in the NFL, to put it bluntly, and especially for running backs, once they're kicked to the curb, where are they gonna go? So that's basically the situation that the running backs are in. All right. Alright, enough NFL news. Now let's get to the NBA. The NBA Finals ended in 5 games. The Heat took one win in game 2. However, the Heat, despite the miracle of being the first 8 seed to make it to the finals since the 1999 Knicks, were no match for the Nuggets, and that was what happened. The Nuggets ended up winning the finals. Nikola Jokic was named Finals MVP. He went from being a fat kid in Serbia. Not an insult, but you've seen the childhood pictures of Jokic looking fat, and yeah, that's why I said that. He went from a fat kid in Serbia to a late second round pick in the 2014 draft to now a 2-time MVP in 2021 and 22, and now the finals winner and MVP this year. The Nuggets' first ever championship since their inception in the 1970s. It's also, they've gone through so much, and now they got a championship. Jamal Murray, the second best player for the Nuggets, went through so much as well. He went from being lit on fire in the bubble to tearing his ACL towards the end of the 2021 season, spending the following year out, and then coming back healthier and better than ever, and now finals champion. So, yeah, the Nuggets story is very heartwarming. Going from being doubted to now a champion. The MVP voters who snubbed Jokic this year and robbed him of achieving the feat of being named MVP 3 times in a row, that in favor of Joel Embiid. The MVP voters owe Jokic a huge, gigantic, enormous, mega apology. Especially Kendrick Perkins. I don't care what Perkins says, but he just needs to apologize for advancing the agenda of making Joel Embiid the MVP over Jokic just because of racial reasons, which is absolutely ridiculous. I don't want to talk about it, but you get the point. I'm happy that the Nuggets won the finals. I would have loved to cheer on the Heat just because they have Jimmy Butler, who played for my favorite team, the Bulls. But I just had to go with the Nuggets since they were a better team, and I got it right this time. And I'm happy with that my prediction came correct. All right. So that's the NBA Finals, everybody. There was a lot. As for the NBA free agency that took place afterwards, there's so much NBA free agency to talk about, but I'm just gonna run them down real quick, just to get through them quicker, because for the sake of time, oh, the Suns replaced Monty Williams with with former Lakers coach and NBA Finals winning coach Frank Vogel. The 76ers hired a more competent and more recent NBA Finals winning coach, Nick Nurse. Um, Bob Myers, the GM who was the architect of the Warriors dynasty, resigned as Warriors GM, being replaced by Mike Dunleavy Jr. All right. In the NBA draft, the Spurs won the lottery and took Victor Wembanyama, who has been who was hyped who has been hyped as the next big thing in the NBA due to his sheer size, and and excellence on the court. Um, the Spurs have a history of hitting it big with drafting big men with the first pick. The first being in 1987 when they drafted David Robinson. However, they had to wait 2 years for him to arrive in the NBA due to Robinson's service in the Navy. And again in 1997 when they drafted Tim Duncan out of Wake Forest, and the rest is history. They also have a history of hitting it big with French players, namely Tony Parker who was a late first round pick, drafted by the Spurs in 2001. The Spurs went through a rebuild after decades of leading the dynasty, and with the Victor Wembanyama pick, as well as the great front office and former Spurs legends who are now working in the front office and working as consultants, Victor Wembanyama will be surrounded by great guys and great group of mentors who will help him transition into the NBA seamlessly. I know the hype is through the roof for Victor Wembanyama, but as long as he's healthy, he could turn into a star and be the player like he's advertised. So that's what yeah. The Grizzlies suspended John Morant for 25 games. They decided to wait until the NBA Finals to decide how many games should they suspend John Morant, and they decided 25 games instead of 8 games during his initial suspension back in March. Yeah, I don't want to talk about this again and again and again, but John Morant just needs to stop and grow up and be a better person in general. Otherwise he'll keep getting in trouble like this and end up ruining his own career. So yeah. Alright. Lots of trades happened. The Celtics traded Marcus Smart to the Grizzlies, and also part of the trade, Kristaps Porzingis was traded from the Wizards to the Celtics. The Wizards also, in another trade, also traded for Jordan Poole. The Suns finally traded Bradley Beal to the Suns. The Wizards also finally traded Bradley Beal to the Suns. While Beal was a great player, the amount of money he was getting was too much for a player of his level. Chris Paul was drafted to the Wizards, but he will never play a single game for them, as he got traded to the Warriors. Chris Paul is at the tail end of is now in the twilight years of his career, and the Warriors could be where Chris Paul ends up. And the Warriors could end up being the last team Chris Paul ends up on before finally riding it to the sunset. I think Chris Paul's going to come off the bench since the Warriors are committed to having Steph Curry as the starting point guard. So that's what I think could happen to Paul. Alright. There's more I'd like to talk about since I have plenty of time. Alright. Now, free agency signings. Well, not too many marquee free agency signings, but there are some notable ones I'd like to talk about. Chris Middleton's re-signed with the Bucks. So did Brook Lopez, which is great. The Nuggets lost one of their key players in helping the team win the championship. Bruce Brown, as he signed with the Pacers. Kyrie re-signed with the Mavs. And Russell Westbrook decided to stay with the Clippers. Dillon Brooks, after being chased out of town by the Grizzlies, has found a new team. And no, memers, it's not in China, but in Houston. Draymond Green re-signed with the Warriors, and after signing a new contract, Draymond Green just decided to use this time to make fun of Jordan Poole, who he punched just weeks before the start of the 2023 season, which was recorded on video for the entire world to see. Yeah, that punch was recorded for the entire world to see. Okay, and big news. Damian Lillard, after spending his entire career with the Blazers, requested a trade, and it's been reported that he specifically wants to be traded to the Heat. However, that trade hasn't materialized as of yet, and it's only a matter of time before it does happen. But I don't blame him if he wants to leave the Blazers. The Blazers have tried again and again to build around him, but their efforts fail hard. And as this team has become increasingly mediocre, Dame at some point must have realized that the team isn't gonna go anywhere, despite his loyalty to the team and the city of Portland. And he just decided he had enough, and wants to be traded to a team that has a much better situation and has players that truly care about winning. And yeah, I don't blame Damian Lillard for wanting to leave the Blazers. Again, like I said, the trade hasn't materialized as of yet, and only time will tell when it will eventually happen. So yeah. Alright, I guess that's it. These are all the NBA free agency signings, trades, and headlines that I wanted to talk about. And yeah, that's it. That's it for now about the NFL and the NBA. Right. Yeah, it may. I know I talk a lot about sports, and it may sound incoherent and rambling, but I just love talking about them. And it's also easier for me to talk about. And some of the sports, the things going on in sports are also relatable to people's situations. The ones who are watching this video, they could relate to whatever happens in sports that could make them feel that could make them feel happy, sad, or angry, whatever. Yeah. Oh, there is more news to share in sports though. Um, LeBron James's son, Bronny, went into cardiac arrest and was quickly rushed to hospital, where he was put in the ICU. Fortunately, Bronny's doing okay now. He was released from he's just been released from the hospital and seems to be doing well. And yeah, it was very scary because we had to see that happen to Damar Hamlin on the Monday night game back in January, and now it happened to the son of an NBA legend. Bronny is also Bronny is also is Bronny is also is Bronny is also trying to follow his father's footsteps of getting into the NBA, and has committed to USC, where he will play college ball. And it's a good thing Bronny's doing well now. Yeah, for the James family, it must have been very scary and nerve-wracking to deal with. They almost lost their son, but fortunately he survived all this and is doing well. Let's hope we never. And sadly, there's a lot of athletes who have passed away due to heart issues. Some either, yeah, with some of them dying very young. And that's very scary to see in sports, like we saw of Damar Hamlin and now Bronny James. We just have to take care of ourselves, look after our own health, and get screened get screened before it's too late. So yeah, like I said, Bronny's doing okay, and let's hope this doesn't happen to him again, and that this also doesn't happen to Damar Hamlin again either, and to any other athlete out here. Because they have a life ahead of them, and we don't want to see people dying from this. So yeah, we don't. That's it about the Bronny James story. I guess that's all I can talk about. Alright. If there was something I forgot to talk about in sports, I might save it for another video or so. But yeah, that's it. That's it for now. Alright, yeah, that's it. If there's a lot more, but for the sake of time, I just have to save them for another video, or maybe just not talk about them at all. But anyways, now, this is basically the frame for the royal family cottage. It will have a few bedrooms, the living room, the kitchen and dining room, and a sunroom. there's a lot more space around here where the sheep and the horse are at. We might even build a pool around here, and a lawn and a barbecue pit. And yeah. So that's what I'm planning for this cottage. And I'm only going to show you part of the construction, like I said, for the sake of time, and also because it takes time for me to finish everything, so I can't show you all the construction. Once the construction is done, I'll give you a tour on camera, and that's the plan for the foreseeable future regarding the cottage. And yep, this is the this is where there's a lot more room for, and yeah, that's it. There's a lot more room for other stuff like the pool, the lawn, the garden, the barbecue pit, and whatnot. That's all I gotta. That's all I have to show you for now of the cottage. I only had to show you the construction highlights. Just building the frame and nothing else. Okay. Yeah. Sorry if I'm being quiet right now, guys. I'm running out of things to talk about. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, you know what I've been thinking? I might plant sakura trees, someplace where I would like to plant it. But I don't know specifically where. But I'll have time to think about it. And I might show you in the future video, if I have time. But it's only a matter of choosing where to plant the sakura trees. The sakura trees have been a recent addition to Minecraft from an update just months ago, and it looks and from the looks of it, the sakura trees of Minecraft look beautiful, and it would be nice to plant one in front of something in my world. And yeah, I might plant one in some place where I would like to plant it. And yeah, that's it. Alright. Oh, and I got other things I have planned for the future, regarding the new videos. I'm thinking about doing the Roblox firefighter video again. This time it should be up to date, and there's other things that have changed in the game where I play as the firefighter. Let me show you something real quick before I get back to that topic. This is the arena setup for WWE SmackDown. It looks small. The setup looks small, but I just had to make the most of what I could build in that capacity. Okay, back to the topic of the new Roblox firefighter video. It's gonna be an up-to-date video. Lots of things. There's been updates to the game where I play as the firefighter in Roblox, including the new firefighter uniforms. I just got it, and the new vehicles, including the new tanker that I've been driving. And yeah, that's that's what I'm aiming to do it sometime in August or September, if time permits me to do so. And hopefully hopefully it should be an up-to-date video instead of being an archived video. However, since I'm busy with lots of things, like I said, it's only gonna be a matter of time before it does get made and uploaded. So please be patient with me, guys. I know there's lots to show. I know there's lots to record. I know I have lots of ideas, but I have to focus on one at a time. And yeah. So that's the plan I have for now. I might do a jailbreak video as well, or a Roblox murder mystery video in the foreseeable future as well. So that's what I have planned as I'm planning to do more Roblox videos in the future. With that, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.